Welcome back to Coins World, and today we are diving deep into the history of the 1965 Washington quarter dollar coin, a fascinating piece of numismatic history that has intrigued collectors and enthusiasts for decades. The 1965 Washington quarter is an important coin not only because of its place in American history, but also because of the major changes that took place in the U.S. coinage system during this time period. The 1965 Washington quarter was struck at a pivotal moment in the United States when the nation was facing a severe coin shortage and significant shifts in the composition of its currency during the early 1960s. As the rising price of silver led to widespread hoarding of U.S. coins, especially dimes, quarters, and half dollars, which were all composed of 90% silver. This presented a major issue for the U.S. Mint as coins began disappearing from circulation at an alarming rate. By 1964, it became evident that a change had to be made to prevent a financial crisis and ensure that enough coins were available for everyday transactions. In response to this growing problem, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, a landmark piece of legislation that fundamentally altered the composition of U.S. coinage. Under this new law, the U.S. Mint removed silver from dimes and quarters and replaced it with a clad composition consisting of a core of pure copper sandwiched between two layers of copper-nickel alloy. This change marked the end of the silver era for most circulating U.S. coins and the beginning of the modern clad era. The 1965 Washington quarter was the first year of this new clad coinage system, making it a significant year for collectors and historians alike. The composition of the 1965 Washington quarter consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a total weight of 5.67 grams. This composition was chosen to closely resemble the weight and appearance of the previous silver quarters, while significantly reducing production costs and eliminating the incentive for hoarding. Despite this change, many people continued to save 1965 quarters, thinking they might still contain silver. However, all quarters from this year were minted using the new copper-nickel clad composition. The design of the 1965 Washington quarter remained the same as previous years, featuring the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse. This portrait was originally designed by John Flanagan and first appeared on the quarter in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth. On the obverse, we see a left-facing portrait of Washington with the word Liberty inscribed above his head. The phrase "In God We Trust" appears to the left of Washington's profile, and the date 1965 is positioned below. The design is simple yet elegant, capturing the distinguished and commanding presence of the first President of the United States. The reverse of the coin also retains its classic design, featuring a majestic bald eagle with its wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, with two olive branches beneath symbolizing both strength and peace. The words "United States of America" are inscribed along the top edge of the coin, while the denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom. Just above the eagle's head is the phrase "Et pluribus unum," a Latin motto meaning "out of many one," emphasizing the unity of the United States. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1965 Washington quarter is that no mint marks were used on any quarters from this year. This was due to an effort by the U.S. Mint to discourage coin hoarding and minimize the demand for coins from specific mints. Prior to 1965, quarters were minted at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with each location marking their coins with a small letter PD or S. However, for the 1965 quarters, the Mint decided to omit mint marks entirely, a practice that continued for several years until mint marks were reinstated on quarters in 1968. This means that all 1965 quarters, whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, appear identical, with no distinguishing mint mark. Despite the Mint's efforts to curb hoarding, many people still saved 1965 quarters, believing they might hold future value, and today millions of these coins remain in circulation or in collections across the country. In terms of rarity and value, most 1965 Washington quarters are common and hold minimal numismatic premium in circulated condition due to the massive number of coins produced in that year. However, high-grade examples, particularly those in mint state with full details and few marks, can carry a premium among collectors. The highest quality examples, graded by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can sometimes fetch significant prices, especially if they are in near perfect condition and exhibit strong strikes with full details in addition to regular strikes. A small Number of transitional errors and anomalies exist for the 1965 Washington quarter. Among the most well-known of these errors is the 1965 silver quarter error. Some rare examples of 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver plankets from 1960. For these transitional errors are extremely rare and highly valuable to collectors. They can be identified through careful examination and weighing as a true 1965 quarter should weigh 5.67 grams, whereas a 1965 silver quarter error will weigh approximately 6.25 grams. Collectors seeking these rare transitional errors often use precision scales to check the weight of their coins, and many of these rare finds have been authenticated and graded by professional services. Other notable errors include double die varieties, off-center strikes, and clipped plankets, which can all add to the value of a 1965 Washington quarter among collectors. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington quarter is a historically significant coin marking a major turning point in U.S. coinage history. It symbolizes the transition from silver to clad coinage, a move that changed the way American money was produced and circulated forever. While most 1965 quarters are common and hold little numismatic value, the possibility of discovering rare errors and high-grade examples continues to captivate collectors and coin enthusiasts alike. As you continue your journey into the world of numismatics, keep an eye out for 1965 quarters in your pocket change, because you never know when you might come across a rare or valuable piece of history. Thank you for watching Coins World. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth coin videos and discussions. Until next time, happy collecting.